آزادی بیان.
言论自由
Free speech.
I have never had charges brought against me on question of because of my speaking out on the question of the Armenian genocide. I was asked this question at a seminar at Harvard in early 2007 when I was speaking about, again, human rights and free speech violations, encroachments, etc. in Turkey. And by way of trying to demonstrate how falsely I was representing the situation in Turkey, a member of the audience got up and challenged me, have you ever been tried yourself for pronouncing something like the Armenian genocide? And I said, no, I haven't. I've never had. Incredibly, in these past 12, 13 years when I've been in fact saying Armenian genocide all the time, I've never had charges brought against me. And then she said, but doesn't that prove that there is in fact comprehensive freedom of speech in Turkey over this question? No, I said, it isn't exactly like that. I had to, of course, respond to the question of why it was that I had never been brought on trial, that I'd never been prosecuted. And I said the best answer that I could give was, because of the way, because of the tone of voice, or because of the verbalizations through which I had spoken about the historical veracity, the historical truth of the Armenian genocide. For example, I had never accused all Turks in general. I never said anything like, you know, those bastards the Turks did all this. That is to say, I had never used anything remotely resembling the language of militant Armenian nationalism or any kind of Turk-hating counter-nationalism. I had always held specific people and a specific political party and a specific leadership responsible for this. I had always spoken of unionist nationalism and the military triumvirate of Enver Talat Cemal and unionist ideology in general. That is to say, I had addressed myself to historical agencies or subjects or targets which could not possibly be generalized as all Turks, an ethnic category per se. And involved in my efforts of genocide recognition were also attempts at, how shall I say, attempts not at trying to condone, but at trying to understand why and how the Armenian genocide had happened. I hadn't really been trying to safeguard myself in any way. You know, in choosing my words, in choosing my language, I was never trying to adopt measures to make sure that I would not be prosecuted, that no charges would be brought against me. It was simply that, with my historian's training as a scholar, that was the language with which I spoke. You know, I did not deal with general ethnic categories. I did not deal with any kind of reverse hate speech. In fact, in my mind, I was always constantly trying to address the problem of how do I make myself listened to by the Turkish audience in general. Because the Armenian genocide question is a Turkish question. It began in Turkey, and if it is ever going to be solved, it will have to be solved in the Turkish conscience, if ever there is going to be any coming to terms with it. And therefore, maybe without realizing it, from a very early stage onwards, my problem was always, how can I make them listen to me? How can I make my voice heard? How can I be persuasive? How can I make sure that my voice is not stifled or silenced in the din? And together with my professional training as an academic, that had a great deal to do with eventually how, not just a question of what you are saying, it is always a question of also how you are saying.